Hello everybody, welcome back to Property Couple. We wanted to sit down and have a little chat today just about where we are in our journey so far, where we started nearly 24 months ago, and just chat to you about some of the highs and lows and just have a little bit of a reflection.
Yeah, just some thoughts as to where we are, where we've come from, where we're going.
Where we've come from, where we're going.
This channel's all about documenting our journey and just being as open and honest with you guys as we can be. Let's just kind of frame it a little bit. So for me, what I've noticed, and it'd be interesting for you, is that our journey's been a lot slower than I originally thought it was going to be.
How fast did you think we'd get to the first goal of, say, one of our goals was actually to replace your entire salary from your job, but through property? How quickly did you think we'd do that? Actually, I think I know what you're going to say.
Originally, I'd said within 24 months.
Yeah.
And we are on track for that. But I'm just a super impatient person, and I didn't really know what to expect. But I think now that we're going through it, I'm getting a much better appreciation for this definitely being a long-term thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely not something where you start it and then you just quit after a few years, because, well, you actually can't quit if you do it the way we're doing it, because you're in so much debt.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just then not start, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Servicing that debt with tenants and things like that.
Yeah. I think as well an important point is to not compare yourself to other people, because I have a problem with this where I'm constantly comparing against other people. I don't think that's a very healthy way to do it, because
I didn't even think you were like that.
well, everyone's journey is personal to them, and I think when I focus on our journey, it calms me down a little bit, because I think we're doing great for the amount of time that we've actually been doing this.
I've never actually seen you look at anyone else's journey or comment on anyone else's journey in a way that suggests you're comparing it to ours. Maybe that's all happening internally for you, because you never ever voice like what I call comparisonitis, which is where you like compare your situation with somebody else's.
No, it's definitely in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for us, it's a realization that it's not very glamorous.
No, not at all.
You know, it's a lot of hard work.
It's really boring. It's actually so boring.
I actually really enjoy it.
I think it's so dead boring. I actually very little interest in like being someone who owns loads of properties, and not that saying that we're going to have loads of properties, but you know, being a property owner, landlord, like I actually think it's so far away from me and who I want to be. But it's like we were talking about the other day, it's like that vehicle that allows you to be whatever it is you do want to be.
It's that tool, that financial tool, to allow you to basically build a business that supports the things you want to be doing in life, the things that you might have a bit more passion for.
Yeah, and do you know what? I lie a little bit, because sometimes when we're looking around properties or going on a viewing, or we're just going for a walk and we see amazing buildings, that does excite me. And I think actually I have an interest in property, but it's more for beauty and like design and style, and it's less to do with like let's just let's just fill this house with tenants kind of thing.
I think that's great, because you know, as we develop with our property journey, we might be able to do more things like that, projects where we are buying and renovating and flipping,
and not holding,
and it becomes more of a passion thing, you know, to create something beautiful and then allow someone to buy that home.
I think that's when I'll be able to like come a little bit more into my element and be like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this. But for the first 24 months, have we been doing it 2 years? 24 months?
Just shy of 24 months. So
I just feel like I'm kind of, we're at the bottom of the...
How far are we come in 2 years?
We have come far. I agree with you. I think we had a coach at the beginning that made us feel like in 18 months we could absolutely be sort of here, and we're like there. And I let myself go to La La Land with that. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, definitely. Just do that. And then you'll be there. But in reality, it has been slower, harder, and there's been more obstacles to jump over in the way.
Just to be fair to ourselves, we've been doing this in the middle of a pandemic. So
the classic.
No, but that is classic.
Classic.
That is classic, but it's absolutely true. When we bought our first property, lockdown had just hit.
Yeah.
So imagine trying to buy a property when you've never bought one before and banks are not lending.
Yeah, and that is so true. Like, suddenly all the lending dried up. Everyone was scared to lend anyone any money, especially people that didn't even own a home, let alone buying a buy-to-let investment property.
Yeah, and so that as a challenge for us, meant that we had to find investment in order for us to get going and continue that journey. So we focused our efforts in that
Yeah.
and found someone that we could create a win-win scenario for. So we've got to give ourselves
We
kudos.
have
A pat on the back. Give me a little pat on
A
the
little
back.
pat on the back.
Yeah, thank
Little
you.
pat on the back.
Just some final thoughts on where we've started and where we're going. I think that it's quite easy, and I said this to you the other day, I feel like it's really easy to be hard on yourself and say, we're not doing what these people are doing, and why are we not here? But when we compare ourselves to where we were 2 years ago, we're in a much better place. We set ourselves a goal and we're on that path. Is it slower than what we expected? Yes. Were our expectations maybe too high? Potentially.
Yeah, I agree. I think that also what we're forgetting is that, do you remember when we were trying to buy that probate property and it didn't go through?
Oh, gosh.
That really knocked my confidence in a way. I think because A, I'd started documenting it online. B, I felt like such a failure when it had fallen through.
That was amazing.
And I just felt really shy of everything, embarrassed to share the journey. And from that point, I think I started to make things more shiny and less like, so this was the reality of this one, or this, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that taught me just slow down, like take each day as it comes.
Yeah.
Don't shout about anything until it's signed, sealed and delivered. That's
Yeah.
one of my sort of learnings so far and reflections on where we started. I didn't think we'd ever buy a property because I'm like, that we couldn't buy that one, so what luck have we got buying the next one?
Yeah, and I think another thing to remember is that having a why, so having...
Just wait for the fridge, sorry, that's really loud.
Wait for the ice to be made. There you go, a couple of ice cubes dropping in there.
Lorry.
The ice is dropped.
Wait for that lorry.
Cool. Another main learning for potentially both of us, tell me if you feel this way, but is that...
Have you forgotten it?
Yeah, I've actually
You
forgotten.
actually forgot it 3 times.
Go
but
away.
you carried on the sentence. You acted as if you just remembered it.
It's good acting, wasn't it?
It's really good acting.
Because
You
I
are
actually forgotten. I thought,
really funny.
I thought by the time I would do it, it would come to me, so I blanked it.
They need to make a sitcom about you working in an office and not having a clue what's going on. You are iconic.
Oh my gosh.
You are actually iconic. So I said I never thought we'd buy a property. Probate, didn't
Oh, yeah.
document the highs
Okay,
and lows.
so another thing I think I've learnt massively is just being quite focused on what the end result is, or the why. So people say like, what is your why? I don't know how you feel about this, but like I've started to work quite hard in the mornings with meditation and stuff like that to just try and feel the emotion of what I will feel when I'm at that point.
Oh, isn't he just amazing?
And honestly, genuinely, I believe that is so powerful, and I'm working with that with my coach as well, because when you're so focused on the future and what that feels like, then everything you do seems to sort of direct you to that point. Yeah, and
That's really powerful.
I actually think that if that is so ingrained and that is your major focus, then everything else just becomes kind of a bit menial. Yeah, you don't get caught up in a lot of the sort of stuff that will slow you down.
I didn't know that one of the meditation exercises you do is focus on the feeling of what it will feel like when you achieve that thing you're working on.
Yeah.
That must be quite
Because if you
powerful.
if you start to train your body to feel what it's like, yeah, then you're training your body to like subconsciously make the right decisions.
Yeah. Is that why you're always so happy in the morning and then it just dwindles?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
If anyone's watching right now and they just want to leave a comment with like a little yogi or something, just to let us know you made it to that point of Ash talking about his meditation, then we'll look out for those in the comments. We know that you're the most loyal watchers. So guys, we're actually going to do another video which is all about the mistakes that we've made along the way, because not everything's been dandy, and I think you and I are actually quite guilty of not sharing any of the lows, only really sharing the highs.
Yeah.
Like for example, when we walked into a property and it had flooded and there was humidifiers everywhere, and we were just like, let's just pretend there's been no flood.
Phenomenal.
Let's just try and film this and
What you don't
make
know.
it look shiny. And I think we have to start showing those things. We're going to post another video which is all about the mistakes we've made, so definitely come back for that. And if you're not already a subscriber,
Hit the subscription button.
you could never say
I know, I
it.
really struggle with it. And make sure you give us a like as well, and share it. Please share
We
if you
always-
think it's interesting to other people.
Exactly, share it. And we are also on Instagram at Property Couple UK, and we post on there. We follow a lot of people on there. We engage on there. So go and have a look at our Instagram, guys.
Brilliant.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.